If you are expecting to attend the 2019 Game Developers Conference in San Francisco this March, please make sure to book your travel and accommodations sooner rather than later. It's shaping up to be a fantastic show, and organizers do not want you to be caught booking accommodations at the last minute. The start of this year's is closer than you think. March 18th, to be exact. Conference organizers have once again arranged some special deals for BD attendees with select housing partners. Deals you can only access by booking your travel and accommodations through the BD Travel Hub. Please act fast, though. Housing partners have reserved a set number of rooms for BD attendees to book at a discounted rate, and those reserved rooms tend to go quickly. So do not wait too long to arrange travel and lodging. For GDC 2019 in San Francisco, it's a vibrant city with lots to see and do. So if you do not take advantage of the exclusive BD Travel Hub hookups, you will be competing with other city visitors for accommodations. Bring your team to BD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or Gamasutra and BD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. After Amy Hennig's wild year that saw the unfortunate demise of this Star Wars game, the veteran game director has been keeping an eye on what kinds of experiences game developers will be working on over the next few years. In conversation with Tim Schafer today, at the 2019 DICE Summit, Hennig argued to the audience that it's a future filled with collaborative experiences, delivered conventionally on platforms that will not resemble the modern-day console space. If that sounds a bit heady for those of you who were not there, here's some context. Hennig told Schafer she's been thinking about two observations from her long career in games. First, there's a massive audience for the kinds of game stories can tell, even among people who do not think of themselves as gamers. Second, it's getting really hard to make AAA games in the fashion of Uncharted. So in her spare time, Hennig's been looking for ways to tell compact interactive stories that can get into people's homes, as easily as Bandersnatch did last December. Who's ahead of the curve? If you are wondering what game model could possibly fit this format, Hennig's got a few that have caught her attention. Games like Florence, Until Dawn, and Detroit Become Human all caught her attention because of how accessible they felt to storytelling audiences who might not normally pick up a game controller. Florence, for those who might not remember, was a simple love story that invited players to interact with the title character's life. While Until Dawn and Detroit Become Human offered opportunities for observers in the room to yell about what choice the characters should make, preempting concerns that these players might not be the kind to invest in video games. Hennig pointed out that these people are already game players, given how often they turn on the TV to experience a story, then pop open their iPhones to play a more mindless game at the same time. With games like Until Dawn, I keep coming back to that phenomenon I witnessed, which was people actively, collaboratively playing, which was, people were engaged. They just did not want the controller in their hands. How do you get to those people? When Hennig was exploring the hypothetical world of collaborative video games, she also talked about a need for a Trojan horse, though the deceptive nature of that terminology may not hold up well. Admittedly, Hennig talked about her impressions of Netflix Bandersnatch, which she admired more for just being accessible on nearly every TV. than she did for its narrative mechanics. For Hennig, Bandersnatch design did feel somewhat backwards, since the movie was swapping the kinds of interactivity chess implemented in games like Uncharted. It takes the thing players want to be doing and makes it passive, and takes the thing we want to be intentional and crafted for us, and makes that choice. But to Hennig, Bandersnatch's delivery method was not something to be ignored. The experience of watching that movie felt frictionless to her, with no decisions to be made about pricing, hardware compatibility, or other concerns that video game players need to make before jumping into a story like Horizon Zero Dawn. Hennig could not elaborate what that Trojan horse would properly do, but she grasped at the straws. She had to try and help the audience see what she was seeing. If it's a streaming service, it's just a virtual console, and you are just talking to gamers. How do we get it coming into people's homes, the same way Netflix and Hulu do? Something that's Trojan housed itself into our lives, and is the gateway to these games. All she truly felt confident remarking on was the fact that one technology she had not seen capitalized on yet was the fact that every player is holding a virtual controller in their pocket in the form of an iPhone. Though obviously games like Jackbox and PlayStation's PlayLink technology have been experiments in this field. Against dogmatism, one word Hennig lovingly used to refer to some of her colleagues was dogmatic. Both she and Schaefer lamented those who had insisted to them that there was not any space for storytelling in video games, that players would always want to make choices and determine their own paths. But the pair both pleaded for their colleagues to recognize that games could be more than that, or even more than the narrative adventures they have dedicated their lives to building. It's not going to happen through machine learning. It's not going to happen through AI. It's going to happen because people with authorial intent make things that land in a certain way, said Hennig. This also moved into a discussion about how games are so often about mastery and competition, and how the low finishing rates for narrative games seem tied to the scaling difficulty and increasing length of those triple adventures. Between the era of narrative games and play-driven games, Hennig said she's looking for an and category full of games not being made yet. What's particularly interesting about Hennig's talk is the fact that the veteran developer seems uncommitted to any major projects as of this writing, and that she, like many game developers around the industry, is waiting to see how the next platforms, whatever they are, shape up. Newsbrief, Canadian developer Hothead Games, has opened up a new division to focus on using its analytical, marketing, and development resources to publish mobile games from other developers. The company is banking on its own experience with self-publishing mobile games like Hero Hunters and Big Wings Parts to help it support games from indie and small developers that sign on with this new branch. Because Hothead has built our own publishing infrastructure to support our internally developed games, we know firsthand how complex it is to develop, publish and support a live-ops mobile game, said Hothead Games, director of publishing Greg London, in a press release. We have every skill set required to make a game a success based on our experience with our own games. More information on what the new publishing arm is offering, as well as contact info for those mobile devs seeking a publisher, can be found on the Hothead Games website. Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Here are just some of the many positions being advertised right now. If you are a recruiter looking for talent, you can also post jobs here. Location: Nottingham, England. Avakin Life developer Lockcode Publishing is looking for a Go back-end engineer with experience in Golang, Python, or Java to join its team in Nottingham. The responsibilities for this role include the creation and maintenance of fast, efficient, and reliable back-end microservices to be used by the game client, assisting with the implementation and maintenance of automated testing for both back-end API and services, and creating and maintaining documents required for team members to understand how web services and API function. Location: Hamburg, Germany. Are you bursting with ideas and eager to let your creativity flowing? An inspiring work environment with a friendly atmosphere. Then apply now to become part of our passionate and wildly creative team. Join the studio behind the award-winning Galaxy on Fire series as level designer to create immersive and spectacular game worlds for an upcoming third-person action game for console and PC.